Hello everybody and welcome to another reaction video. Now today I'm actually going to step away from my list. I don't do it very often, but it's something that I felt I should do. Because the other day I did a video of Babymetal, Road of Resistance, and that proved to be possibly the most popular video I have ever uploaded. In the space of 3 days, it's gotten over 5,000 views, which for my channel is bloody good. I'm relatively new, relatively unknown, and over 5,000 views, so I was quite happy with that. And within those 3 days that video's been up, I have received more than 20 messages, 20 replies, telling me that I should look at a video called Ijime Zettai, which, as I understand it, stands for no more bullying forever, or something along those lines. And this was suggested to me, like I said, over and over and over again, because at the end of all my reaction videos, I take a moment to talk about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, which is a charity that's trying to put an end to hate crimes, and specifically attacks on people of the alternative subculture, people who listen to heavy metal or, wear alternative clothing. And, excuse me, from what I understand, this song is very, very relevant to that. Not only is the song about, it's an anti-bullying song, but the actual music video itself, as I've been told, features people in tracksuits and wearing bling and stuff like that, as far as I understand, just used to illustrate the general population, beating up a metalhead. They're attacking him, they're beating him, they're chopping off his hair, smashing up his guitar, and like ripping his studded leather armbands off him, and basically just beating him up because he's a metalhead. So, it's very relevant to the charity that I support. It's very relevant to my personal stance in life anyway. I'm very much against bullying and stuff like that. So, given the fact that it's been suggested to me so many times in less than 3 days, I thought I would give it a look and give it a listen. Now, I was suggested that I look at the Sonosphere 2014 video, so that's what I've got. I haven't actually gone for the official music video. And I do have the English translation of the lyrics here, so I think we'll just go into it and see what happened. So yeah, I'm going to look at Babymetal, Ijime Zettai. Let's go. Goosebumps already. pause it there for a minute. It seems like a good place. Now, in the last video I did, I made mention how the background music sounded a lot like Dragon Force, to which I was reliably informed by several people that Herman Lee and one of the other members of Dragon Force did actually write some of the music for the band, so that explains that. And again, the background music to this specific song, very similar in style to that of Dragon Force, although it started off with that beautiful piece of piano music, which was really beautiful, you know, gave me goosebumps straight from the start, accompanied with her softly singing. Well, it wasn't any words, it was basically like going la 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 la, except she was going roo. And I have to say again, I've got to admire the energy of these people. I mean, the way they're running backwards and forwards on that stage, and like I said in the last video, they're probably doing a set for like an hour or more, and the amount of energy they're using is unbelievable. Got to give it to them. Now, the song so far, it opens with "Dreaming, I couldn't have even it." Is that I couldn't have even dreamt it, maybe? Between the light and the darkness, I stayed alone. Those who got hurt were not only I myself, but also those who kept on watching me. It was you. Then it comes to a pre-chorus where it says, confidence, have it. I couldn't have, don't be beaten. I kept on hiding, I just like to be found. Until yesterday, yesterday is gone, but goodbye to yesterday's myself, bye-bye. I'm not sure how accurate these lyrics are, but it's basically saying between the light and the darkness, I stayed alone. So they sort of hid in a grey place. They didn't want to, like, I suppose in the lightness, you know, they didn't want to expose themselves to everybody, you know, to be subject to ridicule. But they didn't fully hide in the darkness, which is where like major depression and, you know, suicidal thoughts and stuff might end up, you know. So they stayed somewhere in between, in the sort of grey area, sort of keeping themselves to themselves, keeping out of the way, but still being contented, possibly. And then those who got hurt were not only I myself. Again, probably not a great translation. But those who kept on watching me, it was you. You know, so I'm not sure where that piece goes, because it's a very confusing structure to the sentence. Those who got hurt were not only I myself. So that sounds like they're saying, you know, it's not only me that this stuff happens to. I'm not the only person who gets attacked for being like this. Excuse me. It says, but also those who kept on watching me. Now, is that suggesting that the people that actually commit these attacks possibly have been bullied themselves, which is why they feel they need to attack other people? Maybe. I'm not sure. And then there's the uplifting chorus bit, confidence, have it. So it's like, you know, instead of hiding away, bring yourself out into the daylight, you know, let people see you, be confident in who you are, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Then it says, I couldn't have, don't be bitten. So it's almost like a two-way conversation here. So it's like, confidence, have it, and the reply comes back, I don't have any confidence, you know, I'm scared to come out in case I do get attacked. And then comes the reply, don't be beaten. You know, it's like, you know, don't let people knock you back and make you hide in the shadows. You have every right to be an individual. And it says, I kept on hiding, I just like to be found. So, you know, I kept myself away from everybody, you know, I don't want people to see me, you know, because I know I'll be attacked or ridiculed or what have you. I don't want to be seen, I want to be myself, but I don't want to be judged. And it says, until yesterday, yesterday is gone, but goodbye to yesterday's myself. So until yesterday, yesterday's gone. It's like, I wanted to hide, but yesterday everything changed. And then goodbye to yesterday's myself. Is that like goodbye to what I used to be? This is who I am now. You know, I'm more confident. I want to be who I am. That might be what I mean. And then it comes into the chorus, which is like the real crux of the song, which is like bullying, no, it's disgraceful. Sometimes you get hurt, sometimes you hurt someone, and we all get badly hurt. So it's like bullying, just don't do it. Bullying is bad, it's disgraceful, it's a disgusting thing to do. There's no point in it, it doesn't gain you anything. It's disgraceful. And it says sometimes you get hurt and sometimes you hurt someone. You might say something that will actually really upset and hurt someone, which could be considered bullying. You might not mean to do it, or you might mean to do it. Regardless, we all, at some point in life, have hurt someone's feelings or upset someone, whether, you meant to or not. And it says we all get badly hurt. So everybody, at some point in their life, has been bullied, attacked, or had their feelings hurt. So, you know how it feels, so why should you do it to someone else? And then it says, fox fly, I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure you can fly, fly. Let your pain and sadness all go outside, it's okay because I'll protect you. So, fox might just be, the person themselves, It might mean something in Japanese culture, I'm not sure. It says, fly is a sort of sentence. It's like be free, be who you want to be. I'm sure you can fly, I'm sure you can be yourself. I'm sure you can go outside. I'm sure you can face up to the world without having to cower down. Let all your pain and sadness go outside. It's like, just let it go. Forget everything that's happened to you. Go outside, live your life, be who you want to be. And if anything bad happens, I will be there by your side to protect you, to help you through it. So it's a really good, very powerful and very important message that this song is portraying. So, yes, very good so far. Let's carry on. Wow. There you go. What an amazing song. The meaning behind it is phenomenal. Excuse me. And the way they've put it as well, I mean, even though I'm not sure the translation is 100% perfect, but even the way it's been worded is brilliant. It's really powerful. Because it carried on. I didn't show you my tears, and in the night I was about to cry. In a room deep inside my heart I stayed alone. So it's like they put on a brave face throughout the day. When they encountered people, they smiled and like spoke to them and whatnot, putting on this facade that they were perfectly fine, but in reality, inside, they were they were crushed. Their soul was crushed. They were really upset. They were fed up with being bullied, fed up with being attacked. And they just wanted to, break down, cry, and curl up in the darkness by themselves. It goes, those who hurt me were not only someone else, but also those who pretended not to notice. It was my friend. It's like people that hurt you. It could be anybody. It could be your friend. It could be a complete stranger. Is it like it says there, those who hurt me were not only someone else. It wasn't a stranger, and it says, but also those who pretended not to notice. So the people that ignored the fact that she was being attacked and bullied, they also basically contributed to it because they didn't help her through it. They didn't help put a stop to it. They just sort of turned a blind eye, sort of like, yeah, she's getting bullied, but that's not my concern. Kind of like teachers do at school. And then it came, nothing, could I say nothing. I was about to give up. Not easy throwing out. No easy throwing out? I'm guessing that possibly no easy solution or no easy way out. Until yesterday. Yesterday's gone, but goodbye to yesterday's myself. So, nothing. It's basically I couldn't say anything to anybody because nobody wanted to help me. I was about to give up because I couldn't find an easy way out until yesterday when I decided to change, and the me of yesterday is gone. Then it goes to the chorus again. Bullying, no, is disgraceful. Sometimes you get hurt, sometimes you hurt someone, and we all get hurt badly. And then the fox fly, I'm sure you can fly, yada yada, which we covered before. And then came that piano again, the really beautiful piano, and spoken lyrics. We were pain, aching, all the while alone, your heart pretending not to notice anymore. I'll never get away, no bullying anymore, forever. And that's beautiful, that bit. Pain and aching all the whilst I'm alone, and you're pretending not to notice. You don't care. You're turning a blind eye because, as far as you care, it doesn't concern you. And that's soul crushing when someone does that. You know that someone can see it, but they're just ignoring it because they don't want to have to deal with it. Even if it would help you immensely, they don't want to help. And then, excuse me. And then it goes, full of dearestness. It's pressuring but also encouraging. Anymore, your. I don't want to see anymore your tearful face. So now it's suggesting that someone has come along to help. Full of dearestness. It's pressuring but also encouraging. Now I'm sure dearestness isn't the word they're looking for, but it's like someone has come along, offered encouragement, and sat there to help them. And there's like a lot of pressure on the person who's being attacked because it's sort of like, oh, I've got to use this. I've got to sort of live up to it. They're trying to help me, so I've got to try and help myself. There's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's really encouraging. It's sort of lifting them up and maybe giving them more of the confidence to push forward. And it says, anymore, I don't want to see anymore your tearful face. So it's like, this person has been crying for them. They've been upset to see their friend getting bullied, and this person has now gone, do you know what, I'm going to face up to this. I'm going to stand up to it because I don't want to see my friends upset or crying anymore, and I don't want to be upset and cry anymore, maybe. And then it goes back into the chorus. Bullying, no, it's disgraceful. Sometimes you get hurt, sometimes you hurt someone. Foxfly, foxfly, I'm sure you can fly. Let your pain and sadness all go outside. It's okay because I'll protect you. And then the last couple of lines, he goes, bullying, no, absolutely. No, 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 no. Bullying, no, forever. Bullying, no, absolutely. No, 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 no. Bullying, no, never. So, you know, it's a brilliant message to put in a song. It's a fantastic way to word it as well, because it is something that gets so easily ignored. You know, you see in papers about like kids in secondary school or high school, whatever you want to call it, from wherever you are. You know, there's kids as young as 13 that are hanging themselves because they're getting bullied at school, and nobody pays any attention to it. I mean, when I was at school, I got bullied relentlessly because I listened to heavy metal, because I had long hair. You know, and nobody ever did anything. I mean, there was one point when I was in a classroom and I was sitting on a table that, you know, there was like a table in front of me, the chair I was sitting in, and then there was the wall. And somebody in the class, one of these many, many bullies, walked past my table and pushed the table into my stomach, literally pinning me between the table and the wall, you know, basically crushing me between the table and the wall. And by that point in my school life, I just got so fed up. I mean, I'm never one to fight back. I never have been. I'm not a violent or aggressive person. And I got so fed up that, you know, as they walked away from the table, I stood up and I flipped the table. I literally flipped the table. Because I was so annoyed. And the thing is, I got sent out of the classroom. And I got told off. I got sent to the headmaster. But the thing is, the teacher actually watched this child push the table into me and against the wall. They didn't get any repercussions. I did, because I flipped a table. You know, it's ridiculous how bullying gets ignored by, like, the teachers in the schools. It's something that really frustrates and annoys me. And, you know, so many kids are depressed these days. You know, everybody goes, oh, why are kids depressed? Oh, it's because they've got mobile phones. No, it's not. That might affect their attention, sure. But they're not depressed because they've got bloody phones. They're depressed because nobody pays attention to the important things that matter. You know, kids are getting bullied at school. Nobody pays attention. Everybody ignores it. You go up to a teacher and say, look, I'm being bullied, and they go, oh, I'm sure they're just messing around, or I'm sure they're just playing, or, you know, I'll have a word with their parents, and they never do. You know, I got beaten up right outside school once. Literally, right outside the school gates. I had my head bounced off a tree, and, I mean, that time I did actually fight back, but not very much. And this kid was absolutely laying into me, you know, punched me in the head several times. He actually broke his knuckles on my head, which is something I found absolutely hilarious. And a couple of days later, my parents got a letter saying I was fighting outside school, and that I had detention because I was fighting outside school. I wasn't fighting, I was getting my arse beaten. You know, I was getting attacked. I tried to defend myself best I could, but I am not a fighter, never have been. And this kid who attacked me, did he get detention? Did he? You know, he got away with pounding me into the ground. Sure, he broke a couple of knuckles on my head, which I still think is hilarious. But, you know, all through the school day, this kid was threatening me. You know, in class, in front of teachers. And the teachers completely ignored it. Even when I went to them to try and get help, they ignored it. They're just like, oh, at the end of school, just go home. Well, that's what I do every single day. It doesn't mean he's not going to follow me. You know. And, you know, everybody wonders why the level of home-educated kids is rising. It's because of stuff like this. The teachers don't care. If you're getting bullied in work, does your boss care? No. You know, the only time bosses seem to care is if it's sexual harassment, and even then it's a bit tenuous whether they actually care or not. Bullying is bad no matter what your age, no matter where you are or who you are. It doesn't matter how important you are. You still shouldn't get away with it. There are certain elected officials that have got away with bullying and stuff like that. And they continue to get away with it because they're elected officials, because they're rich. You know, it should not be allowed. Bullying should not be allowed to happen. People should not be attacked for whatever reason. There's no reason for it. And this song illustrates it beautifully. It is a really good song. I see why it was so strongly recommended to me after I did Road of Resistance. So yeah, excellent song, excellently performed, and again, like I say, I've got to admire the energy they put into it. I have been told that throughout the entirety of their set, sometimes the two backup singers go off stage and leave. The main singer, I completely forget her name again. People keep telling me, and I always forget, it's Sue Metal. You know, they leave her on stage on her own to do a bit of solo stuff, and then she goes off stage and the two backup singers come on and they do some stuff together, whilst Sue Metal has a bit of a relax out of that. But still, the amount of energy these girls put into this performance is phenomenal. And you can see by the crowd in that video that they do what they do really well, and they have got a considerable following. It's very, very impressive. So, yes, when I first introduced Road of Resistance, I said, you know, it's time to get a bit silly, because I thought they were a bit of a silly band. But in this last week, I have been proved hideously wrong. It has been proved to me that they are actually an exceptional band, exceptional performers, and the songs that I've sing have actually had very important and very powerful messages in them, you know. So I will hold my hands up and say that I did make a flash judgment on who they were based off of two of their very earliest videos, which is, as far as I believe, before they found their sort of feet in it. And at the time, as I understand it, the girls were like 11, 12, 13, something like that. You know, so they were really young as well. You know, so I hold my hands up. I made a flash judgment and I was wrong. I was very wrong. I am very impressed by them. They are brilliant. But I'm going to leave it at that because I just went on a mad rant. So I'll leave it at that. If anybody else would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or you can message me on my Facebook or my Instagram. The links for those are in the description below. Do know though, if you suggest a track, it may take a while for me to get around to it, because I do get suggested dozens and dozens of tracks every single day, and you know, my list is growing faster than I can record them. I've got hair in my mouth, you know, so it will take a while for me to get around to it. This track is an exception because never before have I had one track so heavily requested in such a short space of time, and I was incredibly curious. Also, as stated earlier, Metalhead Reacts is a very, very proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. As I said before, they're a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, specifically aimed at people of the alternative subculture, whether it be listening to alternative music or dressing in alternative fashion. And as has been the theme for the entirety of this video, you know, bullying should not be allowed to happen. No matter who you are, everybody has the right to be who they want to be. They have the right to be an individual. You know, you wouldn't walk down the street and beat someone up for having a dog because you're a cat person. You wouldn't beat someone up for eating mint chocolate chip ice cream because you like vanilla. You know, you wouldn't beat someone up for eating cheese and onion crisp because you like prawn cocktail. You know, one person's choices and preference don't affect you in any way. You know, how they live their personal life is no consequence to you. You know, people should be allowed to be who they want to be and not get attacked for it. You know, beating someone up because they like something different to you isn't going to change their mind. It doesn't make you big, or it doesn't make you clever. It's not smart. You know, you might think it makes you look clever in front of your mates, but if your mates think you're big, tough and clever for doing it, then they are thick as pig. You know, they're as stupid as you are if you think attacking someone for liking different music is an acceptable thing to do. There is no justification anybody can give to think that it's an okay thing to do. It's not acceptable. So, you know, I think it is one of the most worthwhile charities out there, I think. I mean, obviously, things like, you know, cancer support and stuff like that, they're vitally important. But I think this one is very important as well, because it's something that doesn't get enough recognition, but it happens every single day. You know, and people are getting physically hurt. I mean, if you know about how the Sophie Lancaster Foundation was brought into being, it's because a girl was beaten to death because she dressed in alternative clothing, because she listened to alternative music. It shouldn't take the death of someone for people to suddenly think, hold on, maybe this is bad. It shouldn't get that far. It should be common sense. You know, and this charity wants to stop something like that ever happening again. No parent should ever have to bury their child because of prejudice. And well, no parent should ever have to bury their child anyway, but because, you know, this girl was beaten to death because they didn't like her. They didn't even know her. They'd never spoken to her. They knew nothing about her. She was one of the nicest people in the world. You know, earlier in the day, she was speaking to people very similar to those that attacked her. You know, and they were having a laugh. But these people, because they saw her dressed in alternative clothing, they thought it was an acceptable thing to beat her to death. And they beat her boyfriend and her, but her boyfriend survived, thankfully. It was just a great shame. It's a huge shame and a massive tragedy that she didn't. You know, she died trying to save her boyfriend, trying to protect her boyfriend, and it shouldn't happen. Things like that should not happen. Being beaten to death because you like different music is unacceptable, and it needs to stop. And this is exactly what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation wants to put an end to. They want it to stop, and you know, and I think, you know, it's something that definitely needs attention. So I've been ranting madly in this video, haven't I? I've been really going at it. But if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description down there. You can pop over there, find out you know, what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it without going off on mad rants like I have been doing. You know, if you can help them in any way, that would be absolutely fantastic. You know, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets. You know, they're like £1 from the store. As far as I know, they've actually just started getting recent new merchandise. Like I think they're called slackback beanies or something like that. You know, they've got some new merchandise going on in there. So you know, if you can help them out in any shape, way or form, that's fantastic. You know, every little bit helps. You know, the smallest amount makes a big difference. And, you know, even if you just advertise the thing, that's a huge help as well. Just getting the word out there about what they're trying to do and why they're doing it. It's vitally important. But I'm going to leave that video as it is. It's actually a lot longer than any of my other videos, I believe. But I have been going on mad rants throughout the video, but it's because it's something I'm so passionate about and I think is very, very important. But I will leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.